back, everybody, to the Fifth Line Podcast. We've got, in your upper left corner, Nicholas Ashline. Upper right, Eric Triano. Bottom left, Ben Watson. And bottom right, yours truly. And this is our second episode back.
What is yours truly's name?
It's your boy. No, just kidding. It's Mike Campbell. So this time we're going to be talking about free agents to start it off with, because really nothing's happened.
Yeah.
We
started it just in time for the news to be done.
Yep.
That's right when we started back.
Yep. So we're going to be struggling for a little bit here. It'll be okay. So I have Zdeno Chara. What do you guys think is going to happen with Zdeno Chara?
I think he's going to retire.
I think he's going to retire.
Yep, I'm going to be part of that retire boat.
God dang it. All right.
I think there's about 75% chance he retires, and then the other 25% chances going back to Boston. I don't see anything other
I bet if he goes back to Boston, he's going back on a 1-year, $1 million deal just to
I think that's what he'd be going for anywhere.
It wouldn't be anything with any kind of term.
Yeah, he's not really. He's still a serviceable player, but he's not 25-year-old Zdeno Chara. He's 41-year-old.
Something like
that. Boston's in a tough spot too, because they lost Krug and didn't replace him, and all they really got left on defense is McAvoy.
Well, he's 43.
If they don't sign him back.
He's 43?
Yeah.
He's older than Joe Thornton?
Yeah.
I did not think that. He's kept his numbers up a lot better than Joe Thornton. Not that Joe Thornton has been bad by any means, but see, here's what I think. I
averaged 21 minutes of time on ice a game last year somehow.
That's somehow.
According to Hockey Reference.
So here's what I was thinking. I agree with you guys that it's either Boston or retired. But here's my thing. I didn't know until I watched recently a video, and it was that he played for the Isles. I didn't know he played for the Isles really early in his career. What do you guys think about him going cheap deal at the Islanders and trying to get one more?
That's a really good question, Mike.
It won't happen because they still have to sign Barzal and they have no cap room. But
yeah. I was gonna say, well, that's the first thing. I kind of, it's funny you say that, because the first thing that comes to mind is how they, in terms of a depth signing last season, they just randomly picked up Andy Green, and they're like, all right, I guess we'll just use you for our playoff run, which turned out surprisingly well.
It did.
Not that he was, a superstar by any means, but he was, a veteran guy for a deep run.
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't think the Isles would do anything like that. It'd be funny if he ended up back with them, but
I would love it.
Yeah. Ex-Islander defenseman Zdeno Chara. He'll always be that to me.
It's kind of one of those stories, kind of like Joe. You guys remember how Joe Thornton played for Boston back in the days too?
He played a lot
because he was with San Jose for so long.
He was there for a while. San Jose, check out my hat, guys.
Yeah. You end up getting that one.
It's pretty cool, eh? That was the one I was going to show you next week, but it got here today. Instead of next Friday when it was supposed to. So.
What are the patches?
This is a classic one. So it's got San Jose Sharks hockey there. It's got I don't know what that is. That's more San Jose, but over here it's got 1991. I don't know if you see it.
Oh yeah.
It's like a classic one, and then over here it's got the classic NHL.
Did you
get that?
You go for a San Jose hat?
Because I want them to do well this year. I don't think they're going to, but I want them to do well. Plus, it was really cool.
I hope they suck.
We know where you come down, Nick. All right.
Zdeno Chara, last thing on Zdeno Chara, was he not one of Mike Milbury's trades out of town?
Man, I don't know. I didn't follow. Yeah. He was? Okay, so he was.
Okay. Not only Zdeno Chara, but Roberto Luongo used to be a goaltender for the New York Islanders.
Yeah.
Oh
They both got
no.
checked out around
Oh,
the same
no.
time, from what I remember, right?
Okay, don't. All right, so remember what we were talking about on? I think we briefly touched on and the new NBC guys, right, with Doc retiring.
Yeah.
How like everyone was like, oh, let's hope it's not Mike Milbury. If you ask an Islanders fan, oh, what are your thoughts of it? Just don't even ask the question. All you need to know is Roberto Luongo and Zdeno Chara. That's it.
All right.
Yeah, he made some interesting moves. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Moving on to a player connected to Nicholas's team, Anthony Duclair. This dude messed up.
This man should have taken some money.
He messed up. He is out in the free agent sea without the life preserver that is an agent. And it's not good. I mean, he's got no agent to help him, and there's not very much money out there to get. And I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him because he had a career year, and right before the coronavirus pandemic explosion. So he's not going to get what he should get, what he deserves, and it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's 24, so he's at that age where he's trying to get that lockdown term deal that he wants too, and it's obviously not coming. I know the Senators made him an offer right at the beginning of. They didn't give him a qualifying offer, but they made him an offer that was lower than qualifying, and he didn't take it. Obviously, I still think he's probably going back.
I think he'll end up back there too. Yeah.
He doesn't really have much of a choice at this point. We're a month in, and there's some high-end free agents out there that who knows what's going to happen with them. But it's just like everything else. He's going to want big money. He's not going to get it. Nobody got it,
Nobody got it. Exactly.
Yeah, it's I don't like to think I don't like to say that representing yourself can never work, because there's been cases of players who have done very well for themselves.
No, absolutely, but
but this was a very strange year to choose to not have the help of an agent. Navigating this shitstorm that has been this offseason, it was a hell of a choice. The huevos on him, but
dude, the cojones, boys.
Yeah.
The testes.
No, I feel bad for him because it was after a big scoring year, like you said. He should have been lined up to have a payday.
Big money.
Yeah. A nice candy bar with caramel and
40,
peanuts.
40 points in 66 games, but still, you're going to be getting, normally in most years, be getting a decent contract coming off that. And right now,
I think what's going to happen is he's going to have to probably play on another prove-it contract like he was last year. He'll probably be a 1 year, 1.5, and then hopefully
I wonder
after
what the Sens offered him. Do you know?
I mean, he wasn't getting really anything. I could probably look back and find it. Let me take a look. See.
All right, take a look.
Back to you on that.
And while he looks that up, let's move on to another former Sen with Mike Hoffman. I didn't think he was as good as he was.
I mean, yeah, from everything I've heard, he's very one-dimensional. I mean, Nick might know more.
He's a forward only.
He can't play defense.
Yeah, he's a very one-dimensional player.
Okay.
He can score you a big old bunch of goals, but he can also help you let in a big old bunch of goals.
Okay.
So I don't know how much there is to that, because honestly, I don't watch all that much of Mike Hoffman other than what I saw him against the Habs, and honestly, it was more so always fucking P.A. Pajot that was doing more of the damage against the Habs than anybody. Yeah, I don't know how Mike Hoffman still doesn't have a contract. That's whatever he was offered at some point, he should have taken.
Yes,
I'm guessing he probably was offered a 1 or 2 year at 3 or 4 million a year, and he's like, no, I'm a more higher goal scorer than that. I should be getting more. And no, he should have taken whatever it was that he was being offered.
Yeah, I mean that's what I think most players are going to be, figuring out is oh man, I really should have taken that first offer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have any ideas. I was maybe back to Ottawa. Maybe he could help him out. But if he's very forward dimensional, I don't know if I like him going to Ottawa. I think Mr. Murray's gonna need all the help he can get.
Yeah, I don't really know that Ottawa's all that concerned about doing well this year. That's the thing.
But I feel
I got the Duclair stats here, or the contract offer here.
Yeah.
Looks like it was a 3-year, $12.7 million total, 4.25 per. So he turned down a 3-year.
Yeah.
Wait, 3 years? How
That
much
was a
per?
mistake.
Sorry, I wasn't paying
Yeah, how much
attention.
per?
4.25, so 12 total.
Wait, he turned that down?
Oh boy, that's
what
bad
that
move,
article
man.
was.
Bad
What's that
move.
from?
I just closed it. Thank you.
All right, it doesn't matter. If that's true and he turned it down, that was a noob move.
Yeah, no, that was very dumb. You should have taken
Alright.
that.
I'm gonna move
That's-
on. This is the free agent I wanted to talk about the most, and it was Kovalchuk, because Kovalchuk he's a weird player.
I will say he was a whole lot of fun for like 15 games there, and he got the Habs a 3rd-round pick for free, essentially. So, like, props to you, Covey. But like, towards the end of like his last probably 5 to 10 games in Montreal, and then all of his time with Washington, he was a ghost.
He did not perform.
He's
in
already
Washington.
pretty up there age-wise.
But here's
I don't know.
Well, here's my thoughts on it. When he was in Montreal, he had 13 points in 22 games played, so that's not bad. But his average time on ice there was almost 19 minutes.
Yeah, they had him doing stuff.
I know.
Because it had there were so many forward injuries this year.
Yeah, so
they grabbed a 37-year-old or however old, 37-year-old Kovalchuk, and they were putting him in the spot.
And in Washington he only had 14.04. So I'm wondering if, which I mean, I mathematically it makes sense that somebody does better when they're playing more, but I'm wondering if he thrives more if he's got more, if he takes more of an active role.
He might. I will say he's not fast.
But think about this.
Not gonna fit in with a team. Like, if your team is built, that's the thing. Was the longer he was with the Habs, after his initial streak sort of wore off, the more it was kind of revealed that he did not fit with them, and he would not fit with a team that is built on highly built on speed, because he doesn't have the foot speed to keep up with it anymore.
Well, he's an old man, so.
Yeah. But
this was my thought. These were my thoughts, and I know it's stupid, but I just like to think about things. Dude, get Melnick to pick him up.
No.
Yes.
I mean,
imagine the power play.
Sense, yeah.
The power play. You put him up top, running the thing, or put is it Shabbat? Is that him?
He's defense.
Okay, so put him up top running the thing. Put Kovalchuk on. He's a righty. Put him on his offside so that he can rip a one-timer. Put Brady Tkachuk in front of the net and just score goals.
Yeah, no, that would be one situation he would be very useful. If he's just being a stationary just shot machine, yeah, he'll be fine. That's how he got a lot of his goals.
That's what I think. That's what I think. He's not, because you're not gonna. I don't think you'll have to offer him very much money, if he even wants to play.
And if he goes somewhere like Ottawa, who has the money and could use forwards, well, I mean, I don't know if they have the money, they have the cap space.
That's true. Well, that's the other thing. That's the other thing that I'll get to.
They have the cap space, but don't have the money.
He would bring. That's a big name, and I feel like him going to Ottawa would bring some fans back, maybe.
While we're talking about Ottawa, let me circle this back one last time.
Nick's back.
Ben, you asked me about the Duclair thing. Okay, so Ben Wallace revealed it on Ottawa's TSN 1200.
Okay.
Said Duclair turned down a 3-year, $12.75 million contract. He was demanding a $5 million per year.
Oh, dude, you're not gonna.
Oh my God!
No, you're never gonna get that.
Is that .75 a year really that important?
But also
now
that.
it's not.
Is it really that important at that point?
Oh,
Jesus, man.
jeez.
And now he's not. If
Man.
they think
He's
about
not
going
getting
back
that
to him,
offer if he
he's
comes
not getting
back
it
around.
now.
No.
No, he's not getting that again. No. What a dummy.
Oh, that's if
Should have had an
That's so
agent.
dumb.
Hashtag.
you don't even need an agent. Just ask fucking me. I'd tell you. What the?
I'll be your agent.
Yeah.
All right.
Holy shit.
All right, moving on. We the next thing we had listed was who's in the worst spot. I feel like we've answered that.
Yeah, whoever wrote Duclair in the notes, you're right. Yeah.
Oh, what's this?
Congrats.
Somebody
Good job.
added something last second here. Nick, I'm assuming that was you.
I did. I added in Corey Perry because he's still out there too. I know I read an article because Ben and I did our prep an hour before this today. I read something about him having mutual interest with Ottawa, so there's a possible chance of him going there. I kind of see him going back to Dallas, but if we're talking, I read it before this. I don't know where it was, but I did read it. I don't make this shit up.
It was my Twitter.
No, I don't. I believe you don't make it up. I'm just like who is saying it makes a difference.
Yeah, I agree. I don't remember. I can look it up. But
Nah, that's alright. That's alright.
No, it's fine.
I mean, it took me 20 minutes to find the Duclair thing, so I don't really want to start digging.
I just with
that could be
where
interesting.
Corey Perry's at, I feel like he's more likely to go to somewhere that's in a bit
a
more
cup
of a
contender
position to win. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
That's
don't come to Tampa Bay. We
But I
don't
bet you.
want you.
I think he's probably out of everybody. He's probably in the best position. You know, he's still serviceable.
He's set with
And-
money.
Yeah. What
He's
is
obviously he's way set with money.
how much
and,
money has that man made?
You know, he's a
Enough.
veteran player coming into a locker room. So whoever gets him is gonna get a good deal on him.
He's a playoff performer. He's a playoff.
You want to guess? You want to guess Corey Perry's estimated career earnings?
78 million.
78 million. All right.
I want to say like 86.
86 million. All right. Eric.
Do I go higher or lower? I'm gonna say like 98. Gonna be
Damn, he thinks Corey Perry's a baller.
A little too high, Eric. Nick was the closest. 85,789,000.
Wow, Nick, you were almost right on the button.
Basically, right on. Yeah, he is not concerned about how much money he's making next year.
Yeah.
I don't think. I think he's going whatever team he can get a contract offer from that is in the best spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Sharks.
No.
Oh God!
all right,
After
so-
being with the Ducks for that long. Oh.
All right.
That would be strange. Yeah.
Now let's talk about
Yeah.
free agents signed. Nick, did you add all these no names that went to Ottawa?
Yeah, they
Okay.
kind of locked up their RFAs.
Okay. So Ottawa.
So let me just start it
yeah,
quick
go
here. They locked up two of their 3 RFAs at this point. Chris Tierney, Philip Schlappick, and Dallas locked up Julius Honka.
I like that name.
But the big name, and I'll let Mike talk about this one. The big name is
Ben, you can talk about it. I think Ben has Alex Galchenyuk going to Ottawa, 1 year, $1.05 million. I never watched him. You'd know more than I would how he's gonna fit.
I don't know. He's a confusing player. Because there are moments, have been seasons where he looks like he should be an elite, like top 6 forward, and he has the hands and skills to do it. And then there's just, I don't know. He's very much so a player where if he's on, he is very on that night. But those nights tend to be fewer and farther between in stretches. I don't think, like, his season in Arizona was pretty marred and kind of fucked up by injuries. And then last season, he never really was able to get a groove going with Pittsburgh and got traded to Minnesota halfway through.
It says here he played 72 games in Arizona.
Yeah, but if I remember correctly, like, literally this 3rd game into that season, there was some kind of, like, wrist or knee injury where like he came back from it, but like it sort of stuck with him for most of that season.
I mean, he was 19 and 22.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so it wasn't terrible, and I think he did. From what I remember correctly, they did kind of take the chance and used him as a center, which was a thing that people in Montreal, like, well, some fans in Montreal, were kind of asking him to get that responsibility for a long time, and at times that he didn't look that awesome, and then when he got that opportunity in Arizona, he didn't look that awesome. So
he's still young though. He's 26, so
yeah,
you know.
To bring it all back around, I think the most effective thing that Ottawa could use him, or the most effective way they could use him, is as a winger and give him power play time. Give him probably second line minutes as a winger and give him power play time. And
they don't have anybody else to play the power play, so they might as well.
I think he could. He has a very good possibility of being able to bounce back, but it would take some work because he's been in pretty rough straits the last couple seasons.
If Ottawa won't sign Kovalchuk to just take one-timers on the power play, then Galchenyuk's your guy.
He actually does have a pretty good 1T on the power play. That's the one defining memory I have of him in his time with Montreal, is that his one-timer on the power play is quite nice.
All right. That was literally the only big one I had. Like the really big one.
Yeah, it's been slow. It has slowed down. Let me see. I'm bringing up signings here.
What is Tampa going to do to get out of cap trouble?
Exactly. What is Tampa going to do?
Dude, I don't know, and there hasn't been any news. There hasn't been any news. I have no idea. I think.
Where are you guys at?
I think they're going to pay off the league.
So.
This is what I got. Sorelli, Cernak, Sergachev, RF.
Yeah, it's not good. It's like Ben. It hasn't changed since last week, Ben. It's the same.
Oh.
I was gonna say we were talking about this last week, and everyone was like, "Ugh."
It's not good.
And we're back to it again. So, did you guys listen to SDP this week? They talked about how Stevie Y got the potential of Stevie Y getting in contact with them to get him out of cap trouble. I think that's pretty funny.
I didn't hear that as an idea, but that would be funny.
I would like that, dude.
Hesitant. I would be hesitant to deal.
Why, you think he's gonna pull some stuff?
Well, you never really want to be in a trade where where Steve Yzerman has the leverage.
That's a good point there. Yeah.
Like,
I was on the good end of that.
If you're going to him, that's not a great start.
No, I'm pretty sure. I heard he called Brisebois, and Brisebois was just like, "No, we're good," and then hung up.
That would make sense. I would probably do the same thing.
Yeah. All right. So what are they gonna do? God only knows.
What are your hopes?
What are my hopes? I'm hoping. Oh, God, I don't know. I want Johnson. I love the guy, but he's the one that needs to go. But nobody's gonna take him because that's way too high of a cap hit for somebody who's gonna get you 40 points max. But if he played if he played top 6, he might produce more. But I think they're probably going to try and deal Killorn. They can deal Killorn because Killorn is a good player. But the only problem is that's just too high of a cap hit, even because that cap hit is worth it for that player. But you're not going to be able to give somebody.
The league right now, there's not really all that many teams that have that kind of money to spare.
I know. I think they're going to have to end up retaining salary or something.
Detroit's one of the only ones that can afford it.
And you guys.
Well, they have the cap space, but they don't have
cap space, yeah.
I think SDP was talking about it too. They were like, here's a smart idea. Give up a couple picks for Tyler Johnson. I bet you they do it. Well, that's too smart for the Senators, A, but then the B, they don't have the money to pay him $5 million for 5 years? So.
That's the thing. I think Tampa's keeping Tyler Johnson. I think if somebody wanted Tyler Johnson, it would have happened when he was on waivers.
They would have taken him for free. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. If things don't change, they might end up with Chernak on the $2 million whatever, and the other two might end up walking, which would be really bad.
So
here's a question:
What happens if they can't get under the cap? I know you guys might be able to answer that.
I have no idea.
What?
They're under it right now. They are under the cap right now. So
yes, they
so-
are.
But if they
currently
sign
under
both of those three guys, they won't be.
well, that's the
No.
thing. They can't. They just can't do it.
You're not signing all three.
And you can only be like 10% above.
And unless you're not signing all three, and unless you do succeed in getting rid of one of your big contracts, you're not signing more than one.
Honestly, it's more
And
time.
it's not going to be Sergachev because they can't sign Sergachev to like a $3 million deal. He's not.
And they don't
taking
have
that.
$3 million to use either. Honestly, the longer time goes on, the more I think they're gonna fucking deal Stamkos.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that.
It would
last
probably
week.
make the most sense.
I mean, it
From
makes
where, like,
it
he
makes
is
a lot of
wage-wise,
it
the
makes a lot of
money-
it makes a lot of business and fiscal sense, which I guess are pretty much the same thing. But
Yep.
man, that's just gonna suck.
It's gonna suck, but do you like? This is the chance to like actually sort of rebuild on the fly. I view this as the chance for Tampa to avoid doing what Chicago did, which was overcommit to their core for too long.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And you just got the cup. And if you want to like give yourself a better chance to get another one down the line, you're gonna want to make your bets on your younger players. If keeping Mikhail Sergachev, who is how old? 22.
He's 22. He's younger than us.
Means
Yeah.
losing Steven Stamkos, a very injury-prone 30-year-old Steven Stamkos who makes $8.5 million until 2023-24.
I
Who
know.
you won a cup with only 2 minutes of playing time from?
Hey, listen, you don't need to bash me over the head with the facts, Ben. All right, I know the facts. I know that it makes way more sense. But he's my boy.
I wouldn't want to lose a guy who I watched at, like all my childhood grow
All
up.
right.
I mean, I watched Saku Koivu leave and I hated it. But yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's I'd be okay if he stayed, and I would find a way to make peace if he got traded, because I think the Lightning
draft
could.
picks and prospects you could get for Steven Stamkos.
I know, dude. It would be incredible.
Ugh.
But moving on to the Tampa Bay Lightning's opponent in the Stanley Cup Finals, the Dallas Stars have officially hired Rick Bowness as their head coach. And I think that's a good move.
Yeah. Yeah. Easiest hiring ever.
Yeah, right.
Like,
He I don't remember when he came in, but with them he was 20 wins, 13 losses, and 5 overtime, whatever.
came in. I think Jim Montgomery was fired somewhere around like November, December.
It was before the Winter Classic, because he
it was
coached in the Winter
November,
Classic.
December.
Yeah.
Which feels like an eternity ago now.
I mean, it was almost a year. It is a year.
Yeah, it's about a year. Yeah. But yeah, I've never seen anybody crush a job interview as hard as Rick Bowness did.
Yep.
If that's what those bubble playoffs were.
Gets to the playoffs, makes it to the Cup final within 2 wins of the Stanley Cup. I think you're getting hired.
I still think with barring some of those injuries Dallas had, I think they could have done it. But hey, go back to 2015. Yes, I know.
No, they were more
I'm
decimated than the
aware
2015.
You got to
Lightning,
deal with injuries every year.
They would
That's
have.
how
They
the
would
playoffs
have.
work.
They could have won it for sure. You know, that's hockey.
Yeah. Hockey's
I
silly.
talked to Brian about this actually. I think he was pretty happy that they signed him, but he is like the only problem with him is that he plays a boring style. He plays dump and chase, and
I mean, if it's a boring style,
sure,
it
it's
works.
boring, but the Dallas team is built
It
to
does
play
work.
like that because they're so big. Like that team is one of the biggest teams in the league, and they didn't get it. Like the only guy they lost this offseason,
Perry.
maybe, is Corey Perry. Everybody else has gone back for the most part. So
Yeah, I honestly didn't notice a lot of dump and chase. I'm sure they were doing it. I just wasn't paying attention to it when I was watching. But it's definitely, it works when you have the players. And my example for this is the Tampa Bay line of Gourde, Coleman, and Goodrow. They never carried the puck into the zone. Not one time did they carry the puck into the zone. They dumped it in, and Gourde flew in there and pissed everybody off. And it was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. That was all I had. That was all I had.
With Dallas, they're a team that understands their limitations, and they're a man after my own heart after watching the Habs do this for God knows how long. But as soon as they get any kind of lead, they just keep all of the shots to that they might get outshot like 42-30 or like 42-25 or something. But like 30 of the other team's shots are going to be perimeter shots, and they're not going to mean anything.
That sounds an awful lot like the Blue Jackets, which I hate.
Yeah. They are probably a much more beefed up, much more skilled version of the Blue Jackets.
Which is why they made it so far.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, it's interesting that you say that, Mike, because oh god, I don't know, wasn't Rick Bowness one of the coaches on the Lightning? He was with Tortorella, or no? This was more recent.
I think it was more recent. It was more recent because him and the younger guys on the team. I think he might have been he might have been down a level, or he might have been an assistant. But yeah, because him and the younger guys on the Lightning are pretty friendly. Because I mean, I watched an interview with him on the Spittin' Chicklets, and man, that dude seems just super nice. Like, it just seems like a dude you'd want to hang out with. But yeah, so moving on, sticking with Dallas. This one, I think we're going to have some interesting conversations about this one, boys. The new third jersey. When I saw the tweet, the tweet the day before, or the week before, like teasing it, I was like, ooh. I thought it was going to be sweet. What did you guys think about it now that it's come out?
All I hope is that it glows in the dark. I think it's kind of cool, but it's not like... I just hope it glows in the dark. That's all I care about.
Nick just wants a gimmick.
I will freely admit that it is ugly as hell, but I also love it.
Yeah, you should stand up. Just stand up.
This is gorgeous. I don't know what you're talking about.
I think it's pretty gorgeous too.
All right, what do you, Eric? What do you think about this Stars jersey, this new Stars jersey?
I'm very on the fence about it. I'm honestly, it brought me back to, like, you remember when Vegas came out with their jerseys and everyone was like, like, I don't know. I feel like people were very unsure about the color combination, and even something as simple as like the white gloves. You remember, like, when they had the...
Oh my god, I love white gloves, so I didn't have a moment's hesitation. Okay. I was like, those are cool.
But I feel like this is with the Dallas jersey, the same thing. It's either you love it or hate. Like, I'm one of the few people I feel like that's, like, kind of on the fence. People either love it, like, they're like, oh, this is gonna look amazing, or people are just like neon green and like, I don't know. But
I think it could look cool. Could look cool.
Also, but the story behind it, though. Sorry, Mike. The story behind it is, it's skyline green, right? So apparently, some sort of building or something, right, is lit up like green.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it has anything to do with when the Stars are playing or whatever, but like that's where they got the green from, the black. Okay. So like that makes sense.
That does make sense. My thoughts. I don't mind the colors. It's a little for me, but my thing is the front crest. Who is their designer? It's like the D isn't even centered. The edge of Texas almost hits the C on the front of the jersey. Like, honestly, they should have lost the Texas outline. If you lose the Texas outline, the jersey is sick.
That bothers me.
You lose the Texas outline and the jersey is sweet. That's what I think.
I never looked at it that close. I don't like that either.
It's not centered. It's too close to the sea. It's terrible.
You know what? We should have We should have Danielle on as a guest segment to critique a bunch of jerseys. There we go.
Oh, we could do that.
You do the graphic designer.
She's the graphic designer. I'll see if she wants to do that.
That's a good way to spice up this boring time.
Also
sounds like a great idea.
Also, these graphics right here, and right there are designed by Danielle Allred. Her email will be at the end if you want any fancy graphics. We're gonna move on though to some more jersey talk that I know Benny is very excited about.
I'm always down.
And this is our top 5 favorite jerseys in NHL history. All 5 of Ben's are Canadians.
It's not true.
I'm just kidding.
I have 2 Canadians jerseys.
Yeah, so let's...
Here, I'll go first because I'll make it nice and quick.
All right, Nick's going to go...
Because I know Mike's going to flash them up on the screen for me. So, my number 5 is Colorado. My number 4 is the purple LA Kings.
Which
yeah, you gotta... Yeah, his is the... It's the Colorado 3rd jersey from 15 to 17, because mine is also in that list. That's also in mine.
Colorado 3rd jersey.
It's like the Rocky. It's like the Rockies jersey.
Ooh, the one with the mountain. Yeah, that is a nice one.
Yep. My 4th, like I said, was the purple LA Kings jersey. I don't know why I like that one, but I do. My 3rd is the jersey Benny's got on.
Okay.
Kachina
My
jersey,
2
let's go.
is the old throwback North Stars Madonna jersey.
It's a classic.
And everybody should have... We all should have the same number 1, but we're not going to. But it's the classic Mighty Ducks jersey.
The classic Paul Kariya era Mighty Ducks. Eggplant purple.
Charlie Conway.
NHL legend Charlie Conway.
Charlie Conway. All right, I'm gonna speed through mine as well, just because we're here. My number 5, a little bit of bias here, obviously, is the 95-96 Tampa Bay Lightning jerseys. That was just the standard ones that are the black and the white. I don't know why, I've always loved the black jersey, and I wish they had done more with their 3rd jersey, their most recent 3rd jersey, because that's just put some blue in there. Damn.
What was their most recent one?
Remember the gradient one.
That thing was friggin' weird.
I don't mind it, but I would have rather them ditch the gradient and put a blue stripe in there somewhere, blue and white stripes. But anyway, my 4th one.
I appreciate for what it tried, but it was.
What?
I said I appreciate it for what it was trying to do.
Yeah.
But the gradient, I don't know.
I still would take that over this Dallas one. My 4th one is the 1996-97 Rangers Statue of Liberty jersey. I remember playing. I remember playing with that back in
about that one.
NHL 06, and I was every time I played as the Rangers, I was we're gonna use that jersey.
Solid jersey.
I loved that one. My 3rd.
I like that jersey a lot too.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. My 3rd place is Colorado's 3rd jersey from 2015-2017, same as Nick's. It's it's modeled after off of the Colorado Rockies whenever they were a team. My 2nd place.
The Colorado Rockies play baseball.
There was a Colorado Rockies hockey team.
Was there? There was, because I saw it on the site I was looking at. This one's gonna it might surprise you guys, but my 2nd one is the 08-17, and they had it way back in the day too, the Vancouver Canucks 3rd jersey with the rectangle rank on the front and stick sticking in. That jersey, yeah. I loved that jersey so much.
That's a clean one. It's a clean one.
Yep. And then the number 1 is the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, the classic eggplant and green. Because it's just so good. All right. Who wants to go next, Benny or Eric?
Eric can go next, and I'll wrap it up.
Eric, you got any top jerseys?
Anyway,
so. It's hard to list them, honestly. I'm gonna be honest. Actually, when I looked over this real quickly, I forgot to list my jerseys.
That's fine. You're still in school. You get a pass.
I have a question though. Nick, when you mentioned the purple LA Kings jersey, do you mean the purple one with the yellow accents?
No, he means it's their most recent purple one.
The black, purple, and silver one or whatever. Just their.
Did you see it?
I actually can't see Nick's screen. I thought his video was off.
Can you see it?
You meant that one?
That's the one he's talking about, right? That's what I said when he showed me.
I cannot see it.
Well,
I
Eric,
cannot
you'll
see
see
this
it in post.
You'll see it in post, bud.
Not at all the one I thought you meant. Oh, I thought you meant
Yeah.
the one with the yellow.
Wait,
I don't know
Oh,
why.
that
man. I
thing's
just
horrendous.
I love that jersey. I don't know
The
why. I just
collar
like
on
it.
that thing?
Yeah. I don't know, dude.
Can you hold that up again?
All right, Eric, what are your jerseys, bud?
Okay.
Hold on a second.
Sure.
This is my number 5. This is the jersey I was talking about. This is my number 5.
That's the one I was saying.
I don't like that one.
I
don't
hate
like
that.
the
I
Burger
hate
King
that jersey so much, dude. The Burger King
That
jersey.
Burger King jersey sucks.
Look, I love Burger King, but I do not like that jersey.
I mean,
That's not the Burger King jersey.
just
That's a different one.
You could say what you want about the logo, but the colors, just like purple with yellow accents, I
Yeah,
just think that looks
I
really
love
good.
those two
I just think
colors
that looks
together.
Purple and yellow are good
Yeah.
colors, but I think it's just the way they made it. And Ben, I remember now what the Burger
Lakers.
King jersey is. I remember that.
Whoosh.
That's the one with the swoosh, and they had to, because the way they designed it, they had to put the C on the other side.
It was bad. It was bad.
All right,
So
Eric,
that's
let's hear it.
My
That's
number
the-
5 that just got absolutely slandered.
No, that's a good
except
five. I like
You,
that one.
dude, we're gonna talk so much crap about Ben's jerseys.
Okay, number 4. Honestly, I just love the current Avalanche home jerseys. I just think it's a really unique
Solid
colorway, and I just think it's a clean design. Yeah, I think it's a
No,
really
I was
cool
really
design.
glad when they went back to the mountain peaks at the bottom. That was a good return.
Yeah,
The clean jersey.
yeah, clean jersey. 3. Man, this is
Say
top
it.
3 is gonna be tough. I think
Say it.
3. I'd have to go with the. I mean, it's in the jerseys we're wearing in our logo for this podcast.
Yeah!
It has to be the fisherman.
Yeah! I knew it.
I'm gonna go with the home fisherman. I guess all right. So at the time that they would be wearing those, I think white
So the
jerseys
dark-
always used
or
to be
you mean
away
the dark?
jerseys.
White jerseys
Yeah,
were
'cause I was
home back in the
Or
day.
always,
yeah.
yeah. So the dark, yes, is what I
The
should
dark
say.
fisherman.
So yeah, the dark
Interesting.
fisherman. And then 2 and 1, 2. When the Canes brought back those Whalers jerseys, oh man, those things were
Those
fantastic.
are pretty slick. They
Those
are.
were really slick. Yeah. So that's probably 2 for me. And 1, man, what is 1?
Mighty Ducks.
That I know. See, I want to say that because I love that eggplant color and just like
Yeah.
the teal and I don't know though.
What's he gonna do?
My number 1 jersey. This is tough. You
You
know
know,
what? I'll go the Mighty Ducks. Yeah, we'll go 3 for 3. We'll go for a hat trick for the moment. If
Yeah.
I think about it and I change it up, I'll let you guys
Just-
know.
just
But
yell,
it's
yeah.
a fantastic jersey. It's a fantastic.
It is. If you watched the movies.
Watch them all with you.
Fuck you, Ben.
What? Yeah, you watched them all when we were in college.
Yeah.
You can't
For me,
when you're this old, when you're college age, you're gonna see all the inaccuracies. You gotta watch them when you're a kid, when you don't see them, and it's
Well, I didn't
magical.
watch
For
them
being
as a kid.
such
I
a
can't.
big hockey guy, dude,
Oh God, Nick's about to throw something.
it just makes me mad.
all right. It doesn't make sense, but who cares? All right, go ahead, Ben.
All right. So
Ben's got props. I don't even.
I do have props.
He's saving me post work.
Yeah. So, to be fair, actually, I don't know. It might not be my top 5 favorite jerseys of all time. It's more like favorite jerseys that I have. Although the top 2 are my actual top 2. But at 5, I have the one I'm wearing, the Phoenix Kachina jersey. At 4, we got the Buffalo Sabres. This is the Winter Classic from a couple years back. I know the away jersey that they are using this year is going to be a slightly lighter blue, and the striping here is going to be a bit different. But in general, I just really like the Buffalo, like this style of Buffalo jersey that they've had, where it's the circle crests, and just like the simple striping. I've always had a soft spot for for those kind of Buffalo jerseys.
Yeah, they're going back to Royal this year, and I'm very glad.
Yeah, that blue is a lot nicer on the. What's that?
I don't know. Nick, stop playing things into your mic. I almost put one of these on, Ben.
And then next at 3? Yeah, at 3, I have
Good counting.
the Retro Calgary. This one in particular is a Hakan Lube, which I thought it'd be hilarious to have a jersey with the last name Lube on it. The Calgary Retro, I really do like the away in this one as well, but I'm so glad they finally went back to these going into next season. It just makes the most sense.
Yep.
Like, why, when you have this, would you wear what they had been wearing?
Yeah, it wasn't great. All right, here we go. The top 2. Who could have guessed? Who could have guessed?
2.
Boo.
We have Classic. This one in particular is autographed by Yvonne Cornway. Nick and Mike were there for that. Or Eric, were you there? No, Josh was there.
It was Josh. Yep, we did meet that guy.
Yeah.
It was sure a fun day.
This, I absolutely love just like the blue in this jersey as well. And it's not a jersey that ever actually existed. It's kind of a combo of this logo is stripped from a different jersey and put onto like the layout of one from the 40s. But this is actually what I'm expecting because the whole league is getting the reverse retro treatment. I doubt that the Habs one will be anything other than some variation of this, because some variation of this is all they've allowed for throwbacks in past years. So I'm expecting this to make a return, and that makes me very happy. And then the number one.
The number 1. Oh my god, dude.
Got the Habs home. It's my favorite jersey in the NHL.
That is what we asked.
Stand up to this day.
There it is.
They haven't changed it in forever because they haven't needed to change it in forever. When you already have perfection, what are you gonna?
What do you got on the back of that one?
That's what they call it.
This is actually my Kotkaniemi jersey.
Ah, the cock one. Okay.
It's my newest of my Habs ones.
I see it's an Adidas. I can see from the collar that it's an Adidas.
That's the one thing that I fucking hate about. Why couldn't you have just made this inner part white? Because that's what it's like on the white jersey. Just put it in this. But still, doesn't take away from the fact that this is the best jersey in the NHL. I rest my case.
Opinion.
No, that's just true.
That's false.
That is false. We could have a debate on the best jersey in the NHL for next time.
Mighty Ducks.
For next time.
Wait a minute.
No, not the Ducks jerseys now.
So my number one, I'm
Oh, he's changing it.
completely forgot about this jersey, but this is my number 1. I remember when I first saw this when I was a kid. I was like, whoa. Do you remember the first Winter Classic, Pittsburgh versus Buffalo? Those Penguins jerseys, those light blue Pens jerseys.
Ooh.
I like those.
I love those jerseys.
Those are nice. That's your number 1?
Yeah.
That's
my number 1.
Wow.
That's a jersey I've been looking to add to my collection for a long time.
I know. I've wanted a Crosby one for so long. I don't know if you'll be able to find a real one.
I've just never been able to, I mean, you can find them on eBay, but I've never been able to find one where I've thought
you can
price is realistic.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to pay like $300 for a Penguins jersey. There's like very, very, very specific Habs related jerseys that I would shell out like bigger amounts of dough for, but not for a Penguins.
Dodo!
Also, wait, honorable mentions.
Ooh, honorable mentions.
Nick.
Yeah, great jersey.
Dude, I never liked those. I never liked those.
Yeah.
You never liked
So,
I never liked
my
those.
2 honorable mentions is that one, Eric, and
Okay.
the Statue of Liberty Ranger jersey, because
That's
that
fair.
jersey,
That's
I completely forgot about that, and that would have been on my top 5, but I'm not changing my list. So.
What's another fun one? I'm trying to think of an honorable mention for myself.
I didn't.
Wait.
I actually wrote down a bunch. Where'd my notebook go?
I have one for Benny that I just saw. This one is. These things were greasy, dude. Remember these? Oh man.
Oh, God!
The candy cane.
I love
Get
them.
him off the
Get
screen.
I love them.
Get it off the screen. I blurred
Barber
that. I
pole.
blurred that whole thing.
Good old barber pole. I love them. Those were were some whack ass jerseys, but
I got an honorable mention. I love Oops. There's two. The 2009 Red Wings Winter Classic. I loved that jersey. That was the one with it was white and then the thick red stripe across the chest, and then in there was that
D.
it was that stylized D.
Cool.
And then the classic Capitals home and away. I loved that one too, and they kind of brought that back. That's like their third or something.
Like their expansion era jerseys, because they do wear those every once in a while now. Like they use them
the expansion
throwbacks.
ones.
Yeah, no, actually, those were some that I considered throwing into my top. I've always loved those as well. The colors are just so.
Dude, it's USA.
Point. No, but like also just like the shades of red and blue in particular, like it all is.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
I was gonna say which one, but I didn't.
Not the dirty brown and blue disaster that they had when Ovechkin came in.
He kind of loved the Screaming Eagle ones.
Oh my god, those are disgusting.
They're strange as fuck. Like the font that they used for the numbers and the letters too was really odd. But I don't know. I have a soft spot for those too. I like ugly jerseys, is what I'm saying.
Well, we know. I mean, we saw your top two. Oh, burn. Okay. I'm gonna move things out of. I'm gonna switch things around because I don't like the order that it's going right now. But let's go now into who we think is gonna be the best, worst team in the NHL this year. So I had for the worst teams, were the 6 worst teams were the Sharks, the Kings, the Ducks, and then we had on the East the Senators, the Sabres, and the Red Wings. Of those 6 teams, you can do one East, one West if you can think of it. Who do you think is going to be the most improved? This is basically the most improved award, which I won many times.
Worst.
My personal.
I think San Jose is gonna.
Oh. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll wait. Okay, so I think San Jose is gonna be better than we all think. I don't see Martin Jones having that bad of a season. Those goalies are not gonna be garbage that all season long. They got Dubnyk too. He's decent. So
that's what I think.
They're probably gonna be. I think if John Gibson plays all right, the Ducks are good. If he doesn't, the Ducks are the worst team in that side.
If I may address the Ducks issue here, I looked at their cap friendly earlier, and I'm looking at it right now. It's real fucking sparse. Everywhere they have one goalie listed, John Gibson. He's a rock star, but they don't have really much on defense. They got Kevin Shattenkirk. If he can perform like he did with the Lightning, maybe they will do something good. They don't have much at all on the front end. They got your boy Sonny Milano though, Eric.
You do. I was about to say.
Ricard Raquel's not bad. Ryan Getzlaf is making 8.25, which is absurd.
At like 42 years old.
Yeah, that's a lot of money for
8.25.
8.25.
So let me just finish this off quick.
Corey Perry.
That way we can move on to you guys.
Okay.
We got bought out.
Personally, I don't think the Kings are going to be good at all. So if we're saying the worst, I think the Kings are going to be worst on the West. I think the Senators are going to be by far the worst on the East. I think the Red Wings are going to be better than we think. I know the Senators improved a lot, but I still think they're going to be bad. And I think the Sabres are going to be a lot better than everybody thinks. As long as they can get their goalie situation figured out, they're really, for a lack of better words, they're fucked on the goalie end right now because Carter Hutton is not going to cut it. That guy is garbage. And
they have
they got to play him. Yeah, they do.
I think Olmark will be the starter.
Yeah, I do too.
We'll see. I disagree with you heartily, Nick. I think the Red Wings are still in a bad situation. I still think they're going to be the worst. I think the Senators are going to be the best on the East. They have the Sabres. Here's the thing: is the Sabres we've heard multiple times. It's just not fun to play in Buffalo. Is what I've heard, and if people
that's almost every player who gets traded away or like leaves or
like,
something happens. They're like, yeah, no, that city sucked the life out of me, or like they say some shit where it's like,
Jesus Christ, it's in it's Western New York next to the freaking Great Lakes. It's gonna be super snowy and really shitty. I'm sure it does suck.
Listen, I love the snow.
Why you gotta do Western New York like that?
Yeah.
Come on. We're just right to the east. Well,
Get deuced on, Western New York. Stay over there. I don't. Dude, I seriously. I think you're holding back on your Sens a little bit. I see. If Murray can get his groove back, you guys have enough offensive weapons that you will be able to scare some teams. I think.
I don't disagree with you.
Especially if you get Duclair.
If Murray plays good. I think he will, but I don't. Yeah, they've made a good amount of improvements this offseason, but I don't know. They got to prove it because they've been so bad for the last couple of years that I'm kind of like, I'm sure you were this way at some point, Ben. How you were just like, this is done. They're gonna suck.
Yeah.
But not Ben. Not Ben, the eternal optimist.
Am I the eternal optimist?
Whenever we're playing Chell, you are. You're like, oh, we still got this. We still got this.
Well, that's because as soon as we go down a goal, you immediately give up every time.
Listen, so I can tell in the game. I can tell. No, I'm just kidding. I just am a sore boy. Ben, you have any thoughts there, Benny?
In terms of San Jose getting any better, I don't think they're going to.
Even with Carlson having essentially a year off?
Say that to the logo.
I will say it to the logo. I think you're still going to be trash, San Jose. There you go.
Fuck you!
Is that the shark talking to me?
Yeah, it wasn't me.
Oh, shit. What's his name, do you know?
What's his name? You could play him in NHL 20.
I think it was just Sharky. Yeah, it is. It's SJ Sharky.
SJ Sharky, yep. Good job, Sharky.
Very original. SJ Sharky from San Jose. The San Jose. No, just because Martin Jones has had an 8.96 for 2 seasons in a row now. And Devin Dubnyk had an 8.90 last year. I don't know that either of those guys are going to be your answer.
Okay, but what about this? And I heard this. I forget where I heard this before, but they're gonna have, and I'm not saying this, guarantees anything. Obviously, it's NHL hockey; nothing's guaranteed. They're gonna have a very, 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 very rested Erik Karlsson. Can he come back to the Erik Karlsson of before?
You heard
anything?
I did too.
I mean, sure, he could. I don't think he's going to. I think his ankle is still busted.
But he's had many a moon to.
He's had time to recover from I don't know that. Believe me, I'm not a friggin' doctor, so I don't know how those kind of injuries work. But from what I know is his ankle got fucked up. He had surgery to repair it, and then it was just never in the same shape after. I don't know if that's something that
he may have come back early which I'm sure he did. I've never had my mother got. I'm sure it wasn't as bad as his problem, but my mother got had a broken leg, and she got surgery, and she got it screwed together to help it heal. And she still has problems with it now.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my mom. That's not an NHL caliber athlete.
Right.
So is it going to affect him? I think probably, but I don't think it'll affect him. I guess so far it's been affecting him to where we can see it. But I think at some point he will get back to his maybe not his Senator's glory days, but I think he can get closer to that.
Well, the Sharks need him to, because they are paying him $11.5 million through 2026-27.
They do. He should just take that money and replace his bones with Terminator metal bones.
Bruh, how did they sign that? How did they sign that contract?
Because they really wanted it.
Sorry, Nick?
I said, you don't think that the Martin Jones Dubnyk situation is going to be better for him now that they're going to be split in time?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know.
Jones
Anything,
has been
sure,
a full-blown starter, so I don't know.
Yeah, he played 41 games last year. That's half a season. I mean,
that's half a season. A season in a regular season.
Oh, that's true. So, but it's still.
He probably would have ended up. He probably would have ended up around 45.
Yeah.
45, maybe 47.
I don't know. I mean, yes, anybody could bounce back.
That's pretty split, anyway.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's all.
And then
It's
even
I think
aside from in net, if you look at the rest of their roster, up front they have Logan Couture, Evander Kane, Timo Meyer, Thomas Hurdle, and Kevin LeBanc.
they're pretty spare.
Much, that's like their only forwards of note.
I think a lot of it. I think a lot of it depends on. I think a lot of it depends on Carlson being able to come back. A lot of it depends on the goaltending and
even their back end situation isn't that great.
right
Mark
after the
Edward
first two.
Vlasic is not. Neither of Mark Edward Vlasic or Brent Burns are really all of that good defensively anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. Eric, do you have any thoughts?
I'm probably one of the few people. I know I'm kind of biased here because I do like the Kings, but I'm gonna go with the Kings as my team that's going to surprise everyone.
Interesting.
Okay.
Just because I don't know. I'd love to see Quentin Byfield play. That would be tons of fun. And also, see the thing about the Kings for me is, on paper, I guess they're not like the worst of the worst teams. I don't know. I think on paper, if you're looking at all three of those teams, San Jose has a lot of big names, right? So it's kind of confusing. Like, oh, why aren't they doing well? You know.
Yeah.
But I mean, goaltending is probably a big part of that.
Yes.
After Ben read those save percentages, I was like,
Pretty bad.
yeah. But I don't know. I think the Kings do have that rookie Cal Peterson. I think his name is. I don't know how many games he played last season.
And let's not forget they still have Anze Kopitar too. So
yeah, they still have Anze Kopitar.
Don't you hate him, Nick?
Yes, I do.
What? Why do you hate
I don't know.
Kopitar?
I've never liked him. I don't know. I've had this personal grudge against the guy forever. Never met him. I just hate him.
You don't like good two-way players.
No sense, dude.
That's what it really is.
Do they still have Dustin Brown? Is he still out there?
Pretty sure he is.
To answer your question, Eric, with last year's trash Kings, Cal Peterson had 8 starts. He won 5 of them, lost 3 of them, had a .922 save percentage.
See, there you go.
Right,
And
right.
that was kind of one of the things that I was paying attention to because my favorite player on the Kings is Jonathan Quick, hands down. He's just such a fun goalie to watch. I'm sorry, Quick. You're like so many back surgeries and just his playing style just kind of destroyed his body. Yeah, he's done.
Yeah.
But the fact that the Kings do have like an exciting goaltender prospect
They got a
who
prospect,
can hold his own so far. At least we've seen.
And then in the year before, in his 11 games of NHL time, the year before he had a .924 save percentage.
There you
go. 5 wins.
All right. He could be a force.
Again, with the Kings D core in front of him.
With the Kings teams of the last few years.
True.
Yeah. But yeah, so maybe I don't know. Maybe the Kings can turn some heads. Anaheim too. Again, I agree with everyone. If Gibson plays well, then Anaheim can maybe have a shot. I think. All right. The one interesting thing that I just realized looking at this list, the 3 worst teams in the West are all from California.
Yeah, the California teams had a rough year.
California's not a good place to play hockey. Just throw that out there. Or live.
They have been.
The Kings, the Sharks, and the Ducks have had some of the most exciting playoff series in recent history.
They're just all seem to be in a bad spot collectively all at once.
Must be something in the water.
Wait, but in the East, I'm gonna go with Mike with the Sens. I do think it depends on how Murray plays, but yeah, I just think I don't know. This is gonna sound weird, but I don't know. Being in Montreal, Montreal is just an exciting place to play hockey. I know Ottawa's their fan base or their fan turnout isn't always the best, but Ottawa's not a bad place to play hockey. And Detroit is going through a rebuild. Stevie Y can definitely work some magic, so I wouldn't be surprised if Detroit had an okay season. But again, Buffalo just can't seem to.
They can't seem to just do anything.
With Detroit, I wanted to point this out because I actually think that Detroit, of those teams, bad teams in the East, I think they could surprise. I mean, I don't think they're going to be good still, but
they'll turn some heads.
They have $15 million more in space, with the only really significant
Could have taken
RFA left being with Anthony Mantha. He'll demand some money. He'll probably be 4 or 5 mil for a few years. But other than that, they have Dmytro Timashov, which he's not going to get anything significant really. And that's the only 2 free agents they have left right now. And then have another. So after that, they'll probably still have about 10 million cap space.
Yeah,
I think they could mess around and do some stuff. They've grabbed a few like useful guys, like Robbie Fabry. They grabbed partway through last year, and then extended, and he's been great for them. They picked up Vlad Mesnikov. They picked up Bobby Ryan. They picked up Sam Gagne. They just picked up a lot of guys that are
they
just.
Also got
they're just guys.
Troy Stecher.
Yes, on D they got Mark Stahl and Troy Stecher. Mark Stahl is a ghost of his former self, but he's still a body.
Troy Stecher.
And then Troy Stecher is a good young defenseman. And then in goal to go along with Jonathan Bernier, who actually has been decent. I think he got 15 wins out of that fucking Detroit team last year, which props to him because
because it was all him.
And they added to that, they got Thomas Greiss for 2 years.
I forgot Greiss went there. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That is good.
Like I said, I think they're not gonna be. They're still gonna be bad. Like they're gonna be at best probably 23rd to 24th in the league range. At best is probably their cap. But I think they've done enough little things so far where they're insulating having to bring in any of their like main prospects. I'm sure Philip Zadina is going to be playing, but other than that, they're kind of insulating a lot of the bigger prospects, and then kind of just bringing in a lot of useful guys for a year or two. And I think a lot of these guys you're also going to be able to get rid of at the deadline if need be. Like if you can get Bobby Ryan to have a somewhat useful season where he's like got 40 points by the trade deadline, he's at $1 million cap hit, you're gonna get something for that.
Something good, yeah.
Or Vlad. Vlad's the same.
Nemesnikov.
Ben, you also didn't answer the question for the West. You did for the East, basically saying the Red Wings. Who's your
Who
West
did I think was gonna be the best of those? I actually am gonna agree with Eric. Kings.
Say the Kings.
Kings might mess around and actually look decent this year.
Okay.
With Quick in net.
With who? What?
With Quick in goal?
I'm just saying, I think they are going to do better than both of Anaheim and San Jose.
Okay. Well, yeah, we were just talking about that the young goalie the Kings have, Cal Peterson.
So without Quick in net.
Sorry, Quick.
All right. So going on to a less cheery, more stressful topic. I don't know very much about this. I only know what I've heard from Spit and Chicklets a little bit and a little bit of internet research. And by a little bit, I mean literally like 5 minutes.
I can give an overview.
I'll have Ben give the overview, but this is us talking about the Mitchell Miller situation. And if you don't know what that is, take it away, Benny.
So this is something that was probably unescapable on hockey Twitter this week. You saw it if you frequent the hockey Twitters. Essentially, Mitchell Miller, who was the first pick of the Arizona Coyotes at this year's draft, because they didn't have any picks until the 4th round, because they had lost all their picks either through trades or as a punishment for I don't remember what it was. It was either interviewing or like doing stuff. Talking to draft eligible players earlier than you're supposed to be allowed to, or something along those lines.
Yep.
So they didn't have a pick until 111th this year, which is rough.
That's bad.
But they went with Mitchell Miller, and then I think it was at the beginning of last week. It was actually an older story that resurfaced and then was re-reported on, where when Mitchell Miller was, I think it was 14 in high school. So it was 2016 now. It was a part of basically a longer line of just general bullying that Mitchell Miller had done towards a kid by the name of, what was his name? Isaiah Myers Crothers, who was a teenager. It was an Ohio teenager that Mitchell Miller and another 8th grader in 2016 were convicted. This is from the Athletic story by Aaron Portzline. Him and another 8th grader were convicted in Ohio juvenile court in 2016 of abusing Isaiah. The incident in particular that they were convicted for was rubbing a candy push pops inside a used urinal at a school during a girls' basketball game before enticing him to put it in his mouth, which eventually led to him having to get tested for various STDs because you don't know what's in a urinal.
A lot of bad shit.
Yeah. And then this was just along with just various incidents of physical and verbal abuse from Miller toward the kid. The kid is of African American descent and was called the N-word by Miller on several occasions. This led to eventual school suspensions for Miller and the other individual who went by Hunter R. McKee. And let me see. Some of the verbal abuse that Miller said towards Myers Crothers included calling him the N-word and by telling him to go pick cotton. This was all reported on in 2016. And from all the reporting I've seen, most NHL teams going into this draft knew about it. They asked Miller about it in their interviewing processes, and just about every single NHL team took him off their draft lists for this reason.
So this was known in
Arizona
2016.
What's that? Everybody knew about it. That's the thing. Everybody knew that it had happened, and the big thing that is a big sticking point for a lot of people now is that ahead of the draft, Mitchell Miller sent a letter of apology to all of the 31 teams in the NHL dealing with the incident.
Yep.
But what since then is that he has still not apologized to Myers Crothers himself, which I don't quote me on this because I'm not positive, but I believe that was part of the court proceedings when he was.
Oh, was it?
Was that he was required to issue an apology to him, which the family has said the other teenager involved, Hunter McKee, has apologized to them for, and they have accepted his apology. They've already moved down that road with the other team that was involved in it.
Mm-hmm.
But from all accounts, Miller himself has still not reached out to the kid himself. And that is, I think, the best. And also, I think recently I had seen there was reports he might go to the KHL because that's where everybody who has any kind of situation in the U.S. usually ends up going.
Yeah.
To the KHL.
Well,
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I remember hearing on SDP, the Coyotes actually took him off the draft board, and then their interim GM was in place at the time of the draft. So then, whether or not he knew about it, I'm sure he did. He had to have.
He had to.
Yeah.
But
when John Chayka was there, they had taken him off for these reasons. But then the one thing that, or what were you saying, Nick? Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're saying everything that I.
Yeah. The one thing that a lot of people think might have kind of pushed them toward Miller was the fact that in between Chayka getting gone, they also lost those picks related to the I don't even know what to call it, the interviewing the players early or whatever it was. They lost those picks.
The illegal actions.
So in a sense, you're getting. They viewed this player as a higher level talent that had fallen to fourth because nobody wanted him for all of these reasons. So, and that was the issue that a lot of people had with it because, all right, you're just yes, we're going to have convictions and not take them because of these things, unless we're kind of screwed and we need to take a good player in this round.
What I will say, obviously, the kid's a little piece of shit.
Yeah.
And what I will say is that kids do stupid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
None of us have ever done anything like that.
Yeah.
But, bullying happens. It's very bad. It should not happen. It does happen. And but most people are usually sorry for what they have done if it was not good.
Yeah.
And I think the other kid showed that, and
Yeah.
Mitchell Miller has not, which leads me to believe that he needed a beating or two when he was growing up and did not get it.
It leads me to believe that he's got some underlying racism problems, because
or that
if he's still, and I'm going to be frank, his life has turned for the worse at this point. If you guys haven't seen anything, North Dakota, I believe, North Dakota State or wherever he was playing college,
wherever he was playing,
they kicked him off the team. The Coyotes basically gave up his rights, so now he's not playing college hockey. Now he's not going to the Coyotes, which good. This guy shouldn't play hockey. If he was ever,
I
if
would
he was
allow
ever,
for
no,
the opportunity. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, that's such bullshit.
Look, that's bad, but it happened when he was young. He needs to show that he's sorry, and if he's not sorry, he's just a piece of shit. And he shouldn't make millions of dollars playing hockey.
If he ever shows he's sorry, then sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he needs to take the necessary steps.
Yeah.
Because
and
people do stupid shit.
The family, I think that's the thing. Even the family of the kid was saying was like, I think the hockey, like just the greater community in general, would be willing to, like, if he showed any amount of remorse and showed any amount of like moving forward from it, and like maybe actually talked with the kid who he did all this to, instead of only sending a letter of apology to the 31 NHL teams who might have drafted him.
He's clearly very about himself, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
There's more to it than that, though. Like, he can't just issue an apology to this kid. Like, that's not enough at this point, because it's been 4 years since then. If all he does is say, "Oh, I'm sorry," that doesn't mean anything. Like, actions speak way like we all know it. Actions speak louder than words. This guy's got to redeem himself somehow. Like, he's got to either I don't even know. I don't know what he can do. I hope he his name's Isaiah, right? For his sake, I hope Mitchell Miller does something, because that's ridiculous. But I don't know. I don't know what you can do at this point, because that's
what I'm thinking.
Yeah. He just the general feeling is he did these bad things. He does not feel bad about doing these bad things, and I think the whole feeling so far, like a lot of the quotes that I saw from like in this Athletic article I'm looking at right now, and just stuff I've been reading, is that the feeling that teams, when they did draft interviews with him, that most of the executives that have been saying they seem to get was, he's just kind of every time that they brought it up, he would deflect, or he would not want to bring it up, or like he doesn't want to take responsibility for it. So when you do that, bad things happen for you. Like,
if you're not a human being, with emotions,
there are consequences to doing bad things.
Yeah.
Who would have thought it?
The other thing, though, that just not only the deflecting, but like you mentioned, accountability. For Isaiah's sake, like, even if you get that apology, right, 4 years later, and it's like, oh, that's funny, I'm getting this apology when this kid wants to make it into the NHL. Wow, this sure sounds like a genuine apology.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is convenient timing.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I'm really sorry. Can I play hockey now? That's not how it works.
I don't know if anybody will touch him now, even if he does.
Right. And so, I think, like, that's the thing. The people complaining on Twitter where they're like, oh, what, people don't get second chances anymore or whatever. I'm like, I fully allow for the possibility that he could have a second chance if he puts the work in. If he I could see him going to the KHL for a couple of years, playing some hockey, and maybe if he does well, and like he might get to the point where he realizes, oh yeah, I'm a good hockey player. I could have had all of this in my home country, or in my home continent at least, and maybe that could drive him to being a better person just generally. And maybe
some of the Russians will talk some sense into him.
Maybe.
Not likely, but come on, Russians.
I think there's a chance that if it gets to the point where Isaiah, like you hear from Isaiah, and he's like, oh yes, he apologized to me. It seemed genuine, like, and there seems to be work going in the right direction of him just being a more accepting person and a good person. Maybe he could make it back into the NHL, but as of right now, I think Arizona only did it because there was a backlash. I think they did the right thing by renouncing his rights. I think it would have been more of the right thing for them to have never picked him in the first place, which even they knew they were gonna do. That they knew that, like they already had that plan that they weren't gonna do it, and then they got boned by some pick losses, and then they were like, well, we need good players. Which Arizona, you do need good players, but
has Arizona like publicly announced anything about this, like apologizing for picking this guy?
I don't think they.
I don't know if they've apologized, but they definitely gave up his rights. Obviously.
So, just another thing. So, I think just it's important to mention this. So, I don't know how, like, in terms of the draft it works. So basically, like, all these teams found out about this misconduct, right? And then they basically chose. He still was draft eligible, but teams just chose to pass on him.
Yeah, that seems to be the general consensus.
So from 2016, if there was no apology and everything, right? It's great that teams realize that and are passing on him, but why is he still draft eligible? That's my honest question.
Because draft eligibility doesn't have anything to do with moral character.
Yeah, it's just
it's all based on your talent.
There's a person who is over 18 or will be over 18 by the time that season starts.
Yeah. So there's no let me look at your resume before. It's just
as far as I know, no.
As far as being eligible. Yeah, there's no interview to be eligible.
Okay, that's what I did.
Yeah.
Clarifying that.
I mean, one of us could get drafted.
Yeah, I mean, technically
Ben,
we could.
Ben, you're gonna go to the Coyotes, Ben. You're all ready to go.
Hey, if they want me, I mean, I could maybe help.
Ben hasn't bullied anyone. Arizona, you hear that?
Yeah. So I'm looking at this story from The Athletic, and they said at least 10 NHL clubs took Miller off their draft lists. That was at that point was when he sort of distributed that letter of apology around to the different teams. Then the story goes on to say the letter didn't convince some clubs. Others arranged Zoom calls with Miller that left them feeling unconvinced of his remorse. And then anonymously, an executive said to The Athletic, based on hockey alone, he's a player that 31 teams would have drafted. We just decided we weren't going to draft him. It wasn't worth it on so many fronts. It was an easy decision for us based on what we know. So, like, everybody knew he was a shithead.
That's why they didn't take him.
And, yeah.
And then Arizona showed up.
So yeah, I guess be better, Arizona.
Another thing by Arizona is you gotta look at it from, if you're Arizona, if you boil it down, they're a business. They're here to make money. They clearly thought this kid was gonna make him some money eventually. So I guess they just said, "Be damned." They just were like, "All right, PR team, let's see what you can cook up," and then just picked him. And then the PR team was like, we can't cook anything up here. You just handed us a pile of shit. We can't make anything with a pile of shit."
Yeah, it's just it's rich coming from them in the sense that they had recently made a big push about the fact that. Their owner, Alex Murillo, is the league's first Latino owner. Their president and CAO, Xavier Gutierrez, is the first Latino to have that role in the league. They pushed the whole thing about him being a member, that
diversity
Gutierrez
stuff.
being a member of the NHL's Executive Inclusion Council. That was a whole big push for them, like that. Oh, we're moving towards all this, and then they drafted this guy who everybody in the league knew racially, verbally abused a kid for several years.
What this summer wasn't the creation of the Hockey Diversity Alliance too? I know Vander Kane is one of the heads.
Yeah, which that has kind of continued. That relationship between them and the league has sort of deteriorated since then, because they find that the league often can't work with them on things. But when a team in the league who is at one point being like, yes, we're awesome, we're trying to be inclusive, blah, 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 and then goes and drafts this guy, and it's just, it sort of rings hollow. And I don't know.
So in short, Arizona, be better. Mitchell Miller, get your shit together.
Yeah,
learn from the Russians.
That's a good way of putting it.
Kidding,
I don't know if Russia's the way to do that, but
don't learn from them. All right, moving on. I believe we are finishing up here, which, as everyone knows, it means it's story time.
Oh man,
that was a hard turn. Shit.
All right. Yes, moving on. Greener pastures. I believe Eric Triano has a story for us today.
I do have a story, and so Mike and Ben know this story. Nick, you've never heard this story.
I don't think I have.
Okay, all right. So, I live on Long Island, and gosh, how many years ago was this? I guess it was. I want to say a couple. I don't know. Time is flying by. It was just a couple years ago. Usually on Monday nights at I don't know if anyone out there has played pickup hockey, like the midnight session of pickup hockey. It's a blast. You just go with your friends. It's $20 for us. Just go skate, get 2 hours of ice time. Just have a blast playing some pickup puck.
That's pretty good price.
So most Mondays, one of my buddies, Matt, he plays on a bunch of different teams, like ice teams, so he knows a lot of the guys there. And my friend Matt had another friend, Matt, who was telling him, so Long Island, the hockey community is pretty tight-knit, I want to say, like with ice specifically. Again, I learned how to skate, so I don't really know, like, I just played hockey casually. I never played competitively like you guys. You guys were in leagues and stuff.
I was not.
Not Nicholas.
Oh, Nick. Oh yeah, Nick wasn't. There we go. But yeah, and my friend Matt, his buddy Matt, we were all in the locker room just like normally, and he was saying, he's like, oh yeah, so like because of like my like hockey programs or whatever, yada yada, I know Sonny Milano, and he's here tonight. He's gonna play pickup with us, and I was like, that's a bunch of BS. Like, there's no way. And a little background on that. So Sonny Milano is from Massapequa, which is about 15-20 minutes from where I live.
Heard of that.
So town. It's on Long Island still then?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's really close by. But I remember Sonny Milano, there's a bunch of videos. His draft year, I forgot when he was drafted. I probably should have looked that up. That's probably important.
I got it.
Okay, you get that.
I want to beat you.
He was a high pick there, relatively, I think.
2015.
2014.
To Columbus, right?
2015, Columbus.
16th overall on the 2014 NHL
overall.
entry draft.
Yeah. And I remember there were a bunch of the videos, like draft videos, of just stick tricks with Sonny Milano. You could look it up, and guy's really, really crazy hands. So anyway, all this, right? I'm thinking about all this, like, oh, that's really cool. Like, a guy from Massapequa cracking an NHL roster. Sonny Milano, everyone, I mean, he scored some pretty, like, regardless of his games played. I know he's kind of probably at best a fourth liner in the NHL right now, but he scored some pretty incredible goals. That, like, in terms of highlight reel goals, like the between the legs one on Ben Bishop. I think for Anaheim when he got traded there, he scored like some crazy one-handed, like just like lifted on the backhand kind of goal. But yeah, so we're all out there skating, and like there wasn't an NHL player there. Like, it was like, okay, so everyone's like playing, the game started. And I was like, okay, yeah, like that has to be a bunch of BS. Like, maybe, like, I don't know, like we're like just joking around. And then 5 minutes later, guy steps on the ice in Columbus Blue Jackets, like practice gear, like legit. And I'm like, yeah, that's Sonny Milano. So
oh my God.
Sonny Milano just showed up to a pickup hockey game on a Monday night for whatever reason. I guess because he knew some of the guys there. And it was a really cool moment because first off, like it kind of makes you like it's like we're not so different in age, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like that's crazy. The other thing I was thinking, so Torts was his coach at the time, and everyone was like, imagine he gets injured playing pickup hockey and Tortorella finds out.
Oh no.
Oh.
He's gonna be injured multiple times.
Was that like what time of the year was that?
That had to be summer. It had to be off season.
It's always the summer. Yeah, I just don't know if it was like really. I don't know if it was the tail end of the summer. I think it was the beginning of the summer.
Don't imagine it's like friggin' mid-February and
it's the All-Star break.
It's the All-Star break.
But yeah, no. So steps onto the ice, and I mean, I don't know. For anyone out there who's skated with an NHL player, I mean, he was probably going 25%, and he's just down the ice in 3 strides.
You dangled the jock strap off of him, right, Eric?
Not even close.
Dude, you knocked him over.
I'll never forget one of. So I wasn't really the way we were just kind of rotating the bench, and I wasn't really out on the ice too much when he was out there. But my buddy Matt was, and I think out of all of our friends, he's probably the best skater. We're all self-taught, all my friends. But I remember he went to the corner to get the puck, and I'll never forget. As he goes in to stop, he looks over his shoulder. And by the time he looks over his shoulder, like Sonny goes into the corner and just with one hand on the stick, in one motion, lifts Matt's stick, and then just gets the puck on his stick and just curls out of the corner with the puck, like he just in one motion, and then he's just up the ice already. For Matt, like he just turns around and then that's it, it's gone. And that's like 25%. It was just like if you ever feel like when you're playing chill or just like oh man, like I'm sick at hockey, like. You're not sick at hockey. I'm sorry not to be pessimistic, but
that's the thing I think most people don't give like even the scrubbiest of scrubs, like
even
Cody Ceci,
even Luke Shen.
Yeah. Cody Ceci is still like a frigging insane hockey player.
Yeah.
Rather.
He might not perform very well in the highest caliber best league in the world, but he's still sick at hockey.
Would absolutely dunk on you on a pickup sheet of ice. Yeah.
That doesn't stop us from talking shit about them.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. So yeah. While I'm exaggerating that, like it is, like just it was like a legitimate like reminder, like wow, like even like like this guy's a 4th line player, and like seeing him play, like he's like it's like when you're on the ice, it's like oh this guy's like the best hockey player like I've ever seen. They have to be like one of the best hockey players in the league, like you know. But yeah, just like that was just a really cool experience. I didn't really get to chat with him at all. I mean, he was kind of talking to some of the guys, but yeah, just like. And that was before Adidas took over the jersey game too. So it was the classic Reebok practice jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he was wearing a Columbus one of those.
That's cool.
Oh.
Which was super dope. But yeah, no, crazy night. I mean, he was seeing someone skate and shoot like that.
I need to go. Ridiculous. I need to come down to Long Island next summer and go play pickup.
Yeah.
See what we run into.
I remember. He was skating circles in the offensive zone. He was there was this kid who couldn't skate, and he just kept putting it right on the kid. Just parked himself in front, and he just saw the kid. And he would just put it right on the kid's tape.
Oh, that's so nice.
No. That was the other thing. He was like really like he would pass first all the time. I mean, he would like dangle around people. But
I mean, yeah, if you're an NHL player playing pickup hockey, you can't like fucking clap it bar down on
he took
beer
a slap
league
shot. He took a one-timer. He took one-timer, and that thing dinged off the post so loud. It was
you gotta take one.
You gotta show off some.
Yeah. But I remember, do you remember that play when Philip Forsberg on the penalty kill? Remember when he I think it was against Dallas. He flipped the puck up and he chased it over a defenseman.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes,
I do.
Imagine that play, but imagine Sonny Milano like in the right. So he's in the corner and he flips it up like towards the point where no one's there, and he skates around the net and like gets to the point by the time the puck just comes down, and then he just repossesses the puck.
What the frig, dude?
It's like what? But yeah, that's absolutely incredible. Incredible. So that is my story. So I guess the moral of the story is, if you ever go to pick up hockey at night, you never know who you're going to run into. You might run into an NHL player.
Make sure you get the child player on your team.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to Sonny Milano.
Check what jersey he's gonna wear and wear the same
Yeah.
shade.
And yeah, so to Sonny Milano, who's probably not gonna see this, but yeah, you're in Anaheim, fresh start,
No,
bud.
he's
So
gonna see
I hope
this.
Fresh start,
I hope,
Sonny.
Of course he's gonna hear this.
Lead the
I hear
team.
Mr. Sonny.
Lead the team.
I hope he gets a lot of ice time this season. Because again, Anaheim, right? Perfect place for him to prove himself. Anaheim is,
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah, he'll probably
teams in
get
the league.
plenty of time to show himself.
Yeah. And apparently he wasn't the biggest fan of playing under Torts, which obviously players are very.
Yeah, I feel like you got to be
Yeah.
a particular kind of player to
Yes.
like being coached by John Tortorella. He's a very particular kind of guy.
Yes,
He is a
Sonny
particular-
Milano seems to be a very finesse player, and Tortorella's like block every single shot.
He doesn't have time for
Two-way
finesse
game.
players.
Yeah, no, not at all. But yeah, no. So that is my story.
All right, and that is where we're gonna wrap it up. Week 2 in the books, gentlemen. Week 2 in the books.
Didn't drone on for quite as long as. we
Not
did
quite
last
as long. We're still at about an hour and a half, a little over an hour and a half.
I feel like
But that's
a
pretty good. That's a good length. That's a good length. It won't
Yeah.
take me nearly as long to get together.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for watching this. Thank you for sticking with us through the highs, the one low, and back to another high of Sonny Milano.
That was a good story, Eric. I mean,
Yeah, that
we had heard about that before.
that
like
was-
you
that
mentioned
was a
it,
really
but
good-
that was fun.
It's always interesting when that kind of stuff happens.
Yeah.
But we will see you guys next week. Thank you for watching. Anybody have anything else to say?
Have a good one, everybody.
I would say sponsored by Bauer, but I'm plugged into headphones and I can't grab the skates. So.
All right.
by
Nick's
Bauer.
saying Gatorade. Eric's saying Bauer. In reality, it's nobody. See ya.